What's going on, people? We are back again. Big up all the real ones in the building. It's been a few days. I've had a few days off, man. I can't lie to you, but I've been tired, but I've also been working on the Wax Unfiltered channel as well. But we are back again, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. Where is Edu at, man? Wagwan. I thought I'd come back after a couple of days and we would have signed somebody. 16th of July, 2024, and Edu still hasn't signed a player yet. What's going on? What's going on? It's good to see players leaving, ESR potentially leaving, ladies and gentlemen. We're obviously going to be discussing ESR in this video. Don't go anywhere. Arsenal have rejected a bid from Fulham, but according to Fabrizio Romano, a second bid will be launched. So don't worry too much about that, but we will touch on ESR in a little while, guys. We've got Calafiori deal could potentially break down, and I don't think it's going to break down. The reason I use that is because Edu's moving incompetent at this moment in time. I don't know what he's doing. Bologna are not going to budge on their offer. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. I believe there's some sort of details that Edu hasn't added to the current proposal, and these guys are not happy. They're not happy. They're like, bruv, what's this guy doing? So we've got a question Edu, man. We've got a question Edu today. Big up the Mafia boss. Big up Nort. Big up Trapstar. We've got Ace 12. We've got Max in the building. Peppermint Freedom's here. My guy Sergio is in the building. We've got Glenn. We've got Robin. Come on, man. We've got Mr. Robbo. We've got Prime Henri. J Dub is here as well. We've got Cubs in the building. Come on, man. Cubs, man, like Cubs. Bloody hell. Anyway, man, how's everyone doing? I feel like it's been ages. It's only been 2 days since I streamed on the channel, but it feels like it's been ages. I hope every single one of you guys are doing well. Hope you've had a good start to the week. What's Arsenal doing, though? Players are back in training. It's good to see. I've just got breaking news that Gareth Southgate has been sacked as well. That's pretty awesome. Well, not sacked, but he's been resigned. I mean, these guys are trying to offer him a new contract, but he obviously knew that, he doesn't have it in his locker to get these guys over the line. He's had enough time now, and, it only makes sense that he walks. But he has walked, ladies and gentlemen. How do we feel about that? Who will be the next England manager? I've got a feeling it's going to be Frank Lampard. He is heavily being linked with that job at this moment in time, or not even at this moment in time. It was like 2-3 weeks ago. There was a lot of reports suggesting that Frank Lampard probably will be the #1 candidate to take over the job. But it does say here, Gareth Southgate has left his role as manager of England's national team. Gareth Southgate, the Penguin. Where's he gonna end up? Is he gonna end? He's not gonna end up at Manchester United. They've obviously given Ten Hag a new contract. Where is he gonna end up? Is he gonna end up at Middlesbrough? I mean, that's the level. That's where he should be. Championship. He's done well to get to the final, though. You can't take that away from him. But yeah, mate. Yeah, it's just you can do so much better with this England team. This England team is incredible. The players that you have in that attacking front line is incredible. Better manager, better style, better tactics, giving them a style whereby they can just be unpredictable and play, fluid attacking football. But, Gareth Southgate isn't going to be that guy to give you that. But if a guy was to give England that, can you imagine what they could achieve? I think they're a good enough team. We could say the same for the England team back in the day as well. But for some reason, I feel like this team's even better than that team. Even better. Get Wenger. It could be Wenger. You never know, man. Big up my guy Zeke's in the building. Mafia boss says he quits. Big up my guy Tope. But love and respect to you. Ben White will be back in the team now as well. I've seen that. A lot of people talking about that online, leaving their Ben White pictures up there, smiling away. I hear it. Is Ben White better than Trent? Is he better than Reece James on his day? Is he better than Kyle Walker? I mean, Kyle Walker didn't have a great competition, did he? And he's obviously getting old. Trent, I mean, there's a debate. I mean, going forwards, technically, Trent would be a better player than Ben White. But defensively, you could probably say now that Ben White is that guy, isn't it? Like, Ben White has put himself in a conversation now, hasn't he? He's basically told, Kyle Walker, he's told Reece James and his various other right backs that, listen, bro, I can do up numbers. I can do up numbers. You know what I mean? I can defend. And saying that, Ben White as a centre back was questionable defensively. I think since he's been a right back, he's improved defensively. He's improved. He's done so well, but he's definitely give those right backs a run for their money. Trent, as we know, he can't defend. So Ben White, I mean, you're leaning towards Ben White being probably the best right back that England have right now, isn't it? Let's see if the new manager feels that way as well. But yeah, the players are back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's good to be back. It is good to be back, man. It is good to see the players back, smiling, new training kits. I might get myself a training kit. I can't even lie. You know, everyone's back. Even Reese is back. You know what I mean? The medicals are being done to make sure everyone's cool. We've got Partey back. You know what I mean? Doing up devil signs and that. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Ben White's back. Everyone's back, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for pre-season. The only thing that we don't have at this moment in time is new players, okay? No new signings. No new signings other than the under-19 goalkeeper from Ajax. Do you know what I mean? So, where are you at, my guy? Big up VPF, pick up Ashley Pope, big up the Southern Gooner in the building, big up Lionheart as well. Come on. The gang are joining. The gang is here. Come on. He's definitely better than Walker Wax. No, you know what? That's what I was kind of, you know, indicating, you know, kind of putting all the names on the table. You think about it, after the 2 seasons that Ben White's had, he's definitely better than Walker. He's proven to be better than Walker. Yeah, Walker might have a more of a physical presence. Let's be real, you know, Kyle Walker's definitely got more of a physical presence than Ben White. He's pretty faster than Ben White, more strength than Ben White. You know, he's probably a bit more intimidating than Ben White in certain moments. But, you know, when you're talking about everything else that comes with, you know, being that, you know, that complete fullback that can defend, that can attack, that can, you know, do various other things in the team and for the team, you're leaning towards Ben White being that guy. Do you know what I mean? More than Kyle Walker is anyway. Kyle Walker maybe 3 years ago, yeah. 4 years ago, yeah. But, you know, he's lost it. He's been losing it. And there's no surprise there. He's getting old. How old is he? 32, 33? I mean, he can't be the best right back in the world forever. And was he even the best right back in the world? Was Kyle Walker ever the best right back in the world? I don't know. I don't know. Rice and Saka, no preseason, 3-week break. There we go, man. Same as Saliba as well. You know, we're going to be losing a few key players at the start of the season. The season literally kicks off in 1 month. 1 month from 1 day from today. Yeah, 1 month from 1 day, ladies and gentlemen. The season kicks off. First game against Wolves. It's going to be interesting. I want to know what starting 11 we're going to have. We're probably going to go into it with the same starting 11 we ended the season with. Let's be fair. I don't think we're going to have, you know, of course, Saka, you know, Saliba and Rice might not be fully fit. But I don't think we're going to see any new players in the team other than maybe Calafiori and maybe this Mikel Moreno. You know, it's another player that, you know, Arsenal are really serious about. And as it says here, you know, Arsenal want experienced players. We're no longer going with Project Youth. We're no longer going with Project Youth, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about experienced players now. We've built our core base of young, you know, vibrant, hungry players. Now we want to add the quality, that experience. I mean, I've always said that we needed experience. I always said that we need a few more, a few mature players that have been there and done it. But can we say Mikel Moreno's that guy? I'm not too sure. Like, he's a good player. Obviously, just won the Euros with Spain, and he was probably a part of the Spanish team that won the Euros the last time. When did they last win it? When did they last win it, Spain? I can't even remember. My memory doesn't serve me well. But Mikel Moreno's obviously been about, but he hasn't really been at the top level, you know, playing semi-final Champions League football, final Champions League football, you know, winning domestic cups with his club team, winning or even really challenging for the title, you know, with his club team. He hasn't been there, has he? You know, and he's 28 years old, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's what doesn't appeal to me, but I do like the player. Mikel Moreno is definitely someone that is really good. 2012, there you go. That's the last time they won it. He probably wouldn't have been involved in that team, clearly. But yeah, it's the overall experience. But the quality is there. I mean, let's just see how we're going to try and play him. I think with Mikel Moreno, we're going to be trying to play him as Rodri. We're literally going to be trying playing him as Rodri. People kept saying to me the other day, oh, but he's a number 8. And he is a number 8. If you want to play him on Football Manager, he's a number 8, of course. But, you know, you know, literally in real life, you will see this guy play as a 6. You'll see him. He can play in various different roles. But it's the overall qualities that he has. I can see Mikel Arteta wanting to deploy him literally as our Rodri. That's what he's going to do. He's going to play that 6, let Declan Rice and Odegaard cook. And he's just going to be there kind of dictating with Declan Rice, obviously providing as much support as possible. So that's my prediction for the signing, but we'll get there. We might not even sign him. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Big up the Cowboy. Big up all the people that are joining. Hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel. Do subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel as well. Link can be found in the description. But yeah, Arsenal back in training. Gareth Southgate been sacked. What else is going on this morning? What else is going on? I mean, we might as well just move straight into what Arsenal's doing right now. So Arsenal are short of experienced goalkeepers for their forthcoming pre-season tour of the USA. So may return with another bid for Dan Bentley. And you know, Dan Bentley, but I mean, what do we need Dan Bentley for? I think the ultimate reason why we need Dan Bentley is to meet the homegrown quota. If we're selling ESR, if we're selling Eddie or any one of these English players, then we're going to need some English players. We saw with Man City, they had the same issue. And what they done is they signed Scott Carson. So I don't think Scott Carson has ever played for Man City, but he's there. He's a part of the team that get registered for the Premier League, for the Champions League, for all of these different competitions, but you'll never see him play. And I think Arsenal are using the same approach. Now, in a way, I think that's a waste. I think it's a waste of a position. It's a waste of a registration place. Why? Because it's a player that's never going to play. You can actually sign someone that you do want to play and register him who's homegrown. Like, why is it like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? We're literally trying to play Football Manager in real life. You know, and it's not the way people think we're trying to play Football Manager, where we're going gun ho and splashing all this money in the transfer market and signing every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's available. No. We're actually trying to sign some dickhead don that we're never going to play just to meet homegrown rules. It's bizarre, and I don't understand why we wouldn't sign a player to actually come in that can really help the team. Can Dan Bentley help the team? Can he help the team? He can't even help Wolves. Let's be honest. He can't even help Wolves. So what are we doing over here? What are we doing over here? Just trying to make up numbers, are we? Just trying to make up numbers. 50K numbers. Yay. So I don't know, man. This is a player that Arsenal probably will try and go back in for if this homegrown thing is what they're trying to do. And I think it is, because Dan Bentley is not an improvement on any of the goalkeepers that we have. And I think I would prefer to have Carl Hayne playing, you know, like what difference is there really? Experienced goalkeepers they refer to. Experience at what level? Championship. Like, come on, man. Anyway, let's move on to a bit of more incompetence. So the incompetence is that Bologna are waiting for Arsenal to improve their offer for Ricardo Calafiori, which currently stands at 45 million plus 5 million in bonuses. In the meantime, Bologna are attempting to get Basel to lower their 50% future sell-on clause. However, Basel are not listening. So, yeah, we're at a stumbling block here for Calafiori. We're at a stumbling block. So one of the stumbling blocks is that Bologna don't want to sell the player for the asking price that has initially been agreed because of this sell-on fee that Basel have. Now they thought, okay, what we can do is we can go to Basel, convince Basel to lower their sell-on fee, and we'll be good to accept this 50 million deal. But no, Basel were clearly not going to do that. Why would they do that? Especially when you've come to them and told them that we've got a deal on the table for 50 million. That means if you sell him, we get 25 M's instantly. Now that's a profit for Bologna because they didn't pay that amount of money for him anyway. So it's kind of like a win-win, but Bologna obviously want more money. This is where they're being greedy, and Arsenal are just happy to sit there with the 50 M's. Do you know what I mean? Sit there with the 50 M's and say, listen, we're not going to go anymore. We're not going to go any more than that. This is what it is, and you know what I mean? This is what it ain't. So it's down to Bologna to now say, okay, forget Basel, we'll accept the offer. Calafiori is your deal. Edu can maybe entice them by giving them a bit more money, but why would they do that if the budget isn't what the budget is? Okay, I keep telling you, man, we're signing Mikel Moreno and Calafiori. I'm pretty sure there was a group of people that was sitting there PRing us about £200 million war chests a few weeks ago. No one wants to listen to me. Yeah, don't give Wax subscribers because Wax will tell them the facts, and that means we won't be able to use these guys. Come on, bro. Fucking these guys are frauds, man. Everyone's frauds out here trying to PR dons. Yeah? Come over here, bro. I'll give you the realness of what's really going on, especially when you know what's going on. But some people don't actually know. Do you know what I mean? And Arsenal, it's clear as day. The amount of money that's been spent on the project is not allowing our season to buy players that the players that we want, or spend the money that we want to spend. So now we're in a process of having to sell players. Do you know what I mean? We have to sell these players, but also we need to show that our sporting director is competent. You know, you are good enough to be a sporting director. ESR, you know, could save him his job. Let's be honest. Like it's the sale of ESR could actually save Edu his job. You know, them way there. And Fuller, wow, Fuller, ESR. I was gonna say ESR, come out of Fuller. ESR basically has told Arsenal that he wants to leave. So they're really kind of pushing for as much money as they can get. Fulham ready to pay £40 million for ESR, according to what the mainstream media are telling us. Don't worry, Wax. Edu is only on page 76 of his 180 book. We've still got time, even though it's July the 16th. Tell them, Wax, they can't fool the streets. This is what I'm saying, bro. People think they can pull the wool over our eyes. Now you can't pull the wool over our eyes, mate. You little nerds online trying to create content for clicks, likes, and stuff. And I see it. Do you know what I mean? I see it, bro. But it is what it is, bro. £200 million war chest and that. Do you know what I mean? £200 million war chest. And I don't know where they got it from. You know what it is? I don't know where they got it from. It's a bit different if that information was out there. You know, if that information was out there and it was telling you X, Y, and Z, then yeah, go with it. Go and say, oh yeah, £200 million war chest. But it's like you man just woke up that morning and said, oh yeah, I think Arsenal are going to have a £200 million war chest. So let's push that narrative. Let's push that narrative, and we'll sit out there and we'll get bare clicks, likes, and retweets. I mean, it's totally different, you know, when you're making stuff up, you know, when you're literally making stuff up. But if you were actually smart and you've been following your football club the way you say you follow your football club, and you've been looking at the transfers, the data, the numbers, everything that comes with the football club, then you will know Arsenal don't have nowhere near £200 million to spend on the summer. They don't have it. They were trying to sell us that propaganda back in January. Remember when we signed no one in January? What did they tell us? Oh, but Arsenal are saving all the money for the summer. Oh, they're saving all the money to sign Mikel Moreno and Calafiori. Okay, cool. cool. These men are going on like they're bringing Mbappe out the bag or something like that. Do you know them way there? So yeah, it's a mad one. But this Calafiori deal, man, this is inevitable. We're just waiting for Bologna to make up their mind on what they want to do. Big up Zach. He says, Wax talks too much sense. Man, like, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Big up my guy Mohammed. He says, good morning from my end. I'm watching live from Liberia. No, it's Liberia. Wax. Yeah, my eyesight is bad. I can't lie to you, man. I'm seeing this all really small font. I need to just open it. Maybe I'll just open up the font, make it a bit bigger, maybe. ESR saved Arteta's job a few seasons ago. Now it's time he saves Edu's job. Facts. Big facts spoken there. Big up Mr. Robbo, 110%. Big up my guy Sean in the building. Big up the Southern Goonie. He says, I'm glad ESR has stood up for himself and asked for a transfer. We're moving mad weak this summer. We need to tighten up. 110%. The dilly-dallying in the market has been horrendous. I have to be honest. ESR obviously pushing for the move. This shows you that he actually wants to prove himself. You know, you can't be a 23, 24, 25-year-old player and not have established yourself in the first team. I mean, that is weak, bro. That is mad weak. That can never be the case. Never be the case. It's embarrassing. You know what I mean? And I think ESR knows this, man. You got to also think, like, when ESR's performed for England, and he's looked at all of the players that he's actually performed with, they're all seasoned players in their senior team. Seasoned players. Like, none of those guys that ESR was playing with the under 21s or the under 23s, whenever it was, none of those guys are sitting on the bench. None of those guys are still playing for the under 23s for their football clubs. They're main starters for their football clubs, bro. Now that should be giving ESR some perspective. That should be like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I got to sort this out, bro. I got to sort this out because ESR's not giving it. Arteta's not giving it to me. No, did he? Yeah, I mean, he's not giving it to me. No, did he? So I need to sort this out, bro. I might as well go somewhere else. Fulham is probably the easiest option for ESR. And it is a good option because it keeps him in London. Fulham are not doing too bad. They've got a good manager and they've got good players. So I think this is a season where Fulham can actually try and push for a European position. Do you know what I mean? But that's what ESR's needed to do. Stand up and say, listen, I'm making it happen. So good on him. Good on him, man. You know, it's about time these players do that. You know, Reece Nelson, where's Reece Nelson? We just see Reece Nelson in training, living life. He's like, Brian, going anywhere, 100K, 5 million, signing on fees, and you know, I'm still on the bench. What? I ain't going anywhere, cuz. I swear to you, if Reece Nelson don't go anywhere, I'm gonna be really pissed off with him. I'm gonna be pissed off with him because as a player, Reece, 25 years old, you need to be pushing for a move, bro. Arsenal's not the one for you, blood. Arsenal's not the one for you, blood. You need to be pushing on for a move, just like ESR is. Yeah. I also have a strong feeling that Eddie Nketiah is going to be staying, even though there's reports coming out this morning to suggest otherwise. You know, I've got a feeling that he might stay at Arsenal Football Club. But yeah, I'll keep you up to date with this Calafiori deal. We'll see what happens, how serious, you know, Arsenal are, or should I say Bologna? Because I feel like Arsenal have put, you know, their money on the table. It's just about Bologna making up their minds. So we'll see what happens. But Calafiori does seem inevitable. It does seem inevitable. There's another report coming out that says broadly, Arsenal's strategy is to sell those deemed surplus to requirements and replace them with players of higher caliber, thus raising the level of the squad. It says here, in Ricardo Calafiori's case, they seem prepared to make an exception, pushing through a deal before finding a buyer for any of their existing defensive options. And that's according to the Athletic. So that's what they've said on the Calafiori deal. Do you know what I mean? So any players that Arsenal sell, they are looking to replace them with players of a higher caliber, players that are more qualified, players that are going to instantly come in and give us something more than what we already had. And that's what I'm expecting. But let's see if they can deliver on that. This is Edu summer where he has to deliver. You know, if he doesn't deliver, then, you know what I mean? It's P45 settings. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Obviously, you got Crystal Palace also in the race for ESR. So there is like a little tug of war here. Crystal Palace interested in Arsenal attacker Emil Smith-Rowe. But as of last night, they were still to make an official offer. Very likely Palace will make an offer, but will fall short of reported 40 million valuation. Fulham trying to. So Fulham's original bid for ESR would have been £30 million. Or £25 million with add-ons, which I believe took it up to about £30 million. Arsenal rejected that. And yeah, Arsenal were trying to push for that £40 million mark. I mean, there's optimism there. They believe Fulham are like really serious about ESR. You know, Marco Silva's had talks with Mikel Arteta. He's had talks with ESR directly as well. Like they've done a lot of legwork to actually try and get this one done. And according to some of the reports, this one's been in a pipeline for ESR for at least 3-4 weeks. So over the past 3-4 weeks, Fulham and Arsenal have been in direct negotiations, and ESR and Marco Silva also. So yeah, let's see, man. It's just a final bid now. Everything seems done and dusted other than the bid. Will Arsenal accept less than 40 million? I think we'll probably get about 32 to 35 mil if Fulham will increase that bid. PSG actually rejected €70 million offer for Lee Kang-in from a Premier League club. And usually when it says a Premier League club or the secret club or unknown Premier League club, it's usually Arsenal. But you know, Lee Kang-in is a very, very good player. In fact, he's, you know, really good. You know, really creative, really fast, great dribbler on the ball. You know, when it comes to like agility and those things, like the way he moves, like really nippy, quick. Do you know what I mean? This is a guy. I think it will probably be Tottenham though that would be linked with him. Try and link him up with Son. You know, Wax keeping it 100. Big up my guy Trapstar. Wax, you've been calling it for time. We would be lucky to get 60 million for ESR and Ramsdale. This is what I'm saying. You know, ESR, I said ESR probably be we'll make the most money off ESR. Out of all the players that we're trying to sell, ESR is going to make us the most money. Everyone else, the valuations that you kind of put on their head is a bit delusional. Even ESR to a degree. I think 40 million, you probably could push a team to give you 40 million for ESR, especially when you compare it to other transfers that have taken place, not only this summer, but previous windows as well. As well as that, you do have like some data for ESR that proves he is a good player. Like, you've got data that proves he is a good player. It's just the fitness. It's just the fitness and the injuries. That is what's letting ESR down. And that's what kind of lets you down in your negotiation for a player. But you can, with ESR, you can, sell him on previous potential, because the injuries that he's had over the past, say, 2 years, they've been extremely questionable. But then it's about, does a team, like if I'm approaching this situation, I look at ESR, I look at the injuries, because this is one thing that they'll have had to have done, is look at the injuries and look at the rehabilitation process that Arsenal have actually put him through. Look how he's improved throughout that time, and then think of a rehabilitation process that you can put him through this preseason going into the start of the season. And if you feel confident in that plan, then that might give you the confidence to spend that money. Say, you know what, I'll put 40 million down on it. I'll put 40 million down on it. Do you know what I mean? These are things, like I said to you, these are metrics that teams will be looking at, or owners or managers will be looking at when deciphering whether this player is good enough for the team, so on and so forth. They have to look at every single one of these metrics. So this is the reason why I say to you, what metrics did Eddie look at when he said 50 million for Eddie Nketiah? I don't know. Maybe his goals per minute. I mean, that was maybe something that he took into account, which obviously has fallen off last season, by the way. His goals per minute were better. We're talking 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Since then, his goal per minute have gone. So you can't really sell it on goals per minute. But Marseille are interested in Eddie Nketiah. They want to get a deal done. It's mad that Robert De Zerbi seems to be signing a lot of strikers. They're on the verge of getting rid of Aubameyang as well. Another team that are going to make money off Aubameyang. Can you believe it? Another team that are going to make money off Aubameyang. And they probably won't make as much money as Dortmund did, because that's probably the highest value that he's gone for in his history. But, it's 12 or whatever, 16 million for whatever it was for Chelsea, right? Or Barcelona. Barcelona it was, isn't it? And then they're about to make money off him over there in Marseille, man. Like, this guy, there was money to be made off Aubameyang. There was money to be made. Now, to me, in my opinion, it would be stupid for Marseille to sell Aubameyang, especially when he was the guy that spearheaded their whole campaign last season. Like, he spearheaded your whole campaign. If it wasn't for Aubameyang, you wouldn't have got to where you got to last season. And even then, the manager still got sacked. So obviously, the Robert De Zerbi, totally different style, totally different manager. He'll probably be able to, do one better than the last manager. And I'm sure he'll have players that he's identified that will be improvement. So maybe getting rid of Aubameyang isn't a bad thing after all. But at least they're going to make money. They're going to make money, and that's something that we can definitely screw up, because Arsenal terminated this guy's contract, and he's gone and made money since. So interesting. All right, cool. What we got going on next? Make sure we are hitting the like button, ladies and gentlemen. All of that. I do want to share this one. Jakub Kiwior. So Arsenal have offered Jakub Kiwior on loan with an obligation to buy to Bologna in attempts to break the deadlock in negotiations for Ricardo Calafiori. So you're telling me that Edu. So the story that I've already given you is basically what's happened. Bologna are trying to haggle Basel because they want more money. Basel are like, no. And Arsenal have more or less put the amount of money on the table that Bologna agreed to. But Bologna are just trying to be greedy at this moment in time, right? So one way Arsenal have tried to overcome that is by saying, oh, well, you know what we'll do? We'll give you Jakub on loan, but with an obligation to buy. So they make him have pay more money. They make him man pay money, or not even, like, they make him man lose more money, in fact. You're going to lose money. They want to make more money, but you're making them pay more money. That's basically what you're making them do. They don't want to. It's crazy. It's such a mad move that Eddie made there. It's such a mad move that Eddie made there. They want to make more money out of the deal. They're trying to convince Basel to lower their sell-on fee so they can make more money out of the deal. And you're coming to me with another player telling me to loan him, as well as you're going to want 20, 30 million at the end of it as well. Who do you think I am? Some mug. You know, it'll end up being like the Calafiori deal puts him in minus 20 million and Jakub Kivior. They've got Jakub Kivior plus minus 20 million based on Edu's negotiation with them. Edu tried to quickly finesse them. That's how you have to look at it. Edu quickly tried to finesse them. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. Come on, man. You think the Bologna directors and them man are stupid? It was instantly rejected, the proposal, because it didn't make any sense. And if Eddie thought that made sense, then I don't know. Clearly he was trying to connive. Clearly he was trying to finesse the bag. He was trying to finesse the bag. No way. Kivior is not an upgrade on Calafiori. It's the whole reason why we're signing Calafiori to upgrade on Kivior. And he tried to anyway. What a joker. At least he tried, though. At least he tried. But Kivior, I don't know if Kivior is going to be leaving now. I think Kivior is going to be staying. I feel like Kivior must feel like a dickhead, blood. Let's be real. Kivior must be sitting there with his dancing partner. She's probably dancing around the yard, and she's saying to him, "Oh, Jakub, what's wrong with you?" And he's just sitting there thinking, "Right, is this team really trying to force me out, blood? Like, is this team really trying to force me out? I've been here for like 18 months, and they're already offering me to different clubs, left, right, and center. Like, what? Can't I be a backup to Saliba and Gabriel?" Because I'm pretty sure Jakub Kivior at this moment in time wants to be a part of Arsenal Football Club. This guy doesn't want to leave. And I'm pretty sure this guy isn't demanding to be a senior player or first team player. Like, he isn't demanding that. But I'm pretty sure he's sitting there thinking like, damn, like, these men are just trying to force me out the club. Bare teams are just being linked with me. Where's all this coming from? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I really don't know. James Benj, who we've had on the channel a number of times before, he basically says sources close to Arsenal expect a summer where the profile of new recruits is more akin to Jorginho and Trossard. So yeah, we're looking at experienced older players. I mean, that's the way of us justifying the signing of Mikel Moreno, basically. Two more experienced additions who arrived at a later stage of their career than sporting director typically looks to recruit. So that's what we're doing. We're looking at experienced players that have kind of, you know, they should already be seasoned. But, you know, can we say Mikel Moreno is the guy? I mean, he will have a good relationship with Odegaard due to their relationship at Real Sociedad. I mean, that didn't win him anything, though, did it? No, it didn't. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how I kind of feel about this Mikel Moreno one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why we won't get world-class players under this regime. Calafiori is on the vacation chilling. We should keep Kivior as a backup dancer. Big up Musa. He says, Guna family, hope you are well. Absolutely. Edu is haggling over 4.2 million basically. Last season, Cedric's wages, and he played like 100 minutes. Exactly. When you put things into perspective, it's like, oh yeah, you were clueless, don, didn't you? Big up Guna Mateta in the building. Big up Cyborg in the building as well. Edu and Arteta blew with the Aubameyang transfer, gone for absolutely nothing and celebrated. I know, celebrated like they won a trophy. Oh, we couldn't do anything. No team was willing to pay his wages. So you paid half of them for him until he went, until the end of the season, and then he signed for Chelsea, who more or less paid him about 250, 300k anyway. Make it make sense. Anyway, it's only when he went to Marseille he dropped wages. He went to Marseille. That's when he dropped wages. He dropped wages to about 160k. So Marseille started paying him 160k. They don't want to pay him 160k anymore. But you know, you got the Arab man that are willing to give, you know, Aubameyang 400k now. So see you later. You know, see you later. He's going back over. He's going to Dubai. You know what I mean? He's going to the Arab lands. He's going to go and get big money from over there, man. You know, I don't understand how that moment when we were trying to terminate Aubameyang's contract, why we didn't go and just get on our knees and beg them Saudi man to come and take Aubameyang off our hands for 40 million. I mean, they man would have jumped at Aubameyang. These are the times when they're taking Ronaldo, and you know, these men are all going over. Why did you not go over there, Edu? Get those Saudi man to take Aubameyang off your hands. You're sitting there with Richard Garlick on a documentary, acting like you're doing, like you know what you're doing, saying, "Oh, no one wants to buy him, no one wants to take him. His wages are a problem. His wages are a problem." You got Saudi man giving bang average dons 150k a week, bang average. You know, a couple championship man. You know, a couple championship players this summer, as well as last summer, have gone over to the Saudi leagues. They've gone over to the Saudi league. Some Southampton man, a few dons have gone over there. Believe it, these men have been given 160, 170k contracts, bro. They're never coming back to the Premier League because no one over here is ever going to give them that money. But they've been given some ridiculous contracts. Even guys in like League 2, League 1, they've gone over there, got flipping 80Ks, 60Ks. I'm like, rah, Saudi ain't playing. Saudi ain't playing. They're giving man retirement money instantly, bro. So how did you not get no money for Aubameyang from them Saudi man? Doesn't make any sense. No way. And they're signing him now. Like 3 years later, 2.5 years later, they're on the verge of signing him. What? So they come on, man. We finessed ourselves, man. We finessed ourselves. I think a part of that, honestly, guys, a part of that, because they knew it was on the documentary, a part of it was just about making Aubameyang just look like it was that bad. It was that bad. You're worth nothing. We don't want you. No one really wants you. Barcelona only want you for free. Like, that was the kind of approach that they took. It was about painting a negative picture of Aubameyang, man. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was. Make Aubameyang feel like shit so we can feel like we've done a good job. But really and truly, let's be honest now, you never done a good job. It was extremely incompetent and embarrassing. And any real businessman would have looked at that and said, fired, get the fuck out of my football club, or get the hell out of my business. You just cost me millions and millions of pounds, bro. Millions and millions. Because not only did we pay Aubameyang's wages all the way until we paid half of Aubameyang's wages up until the end of the season, but we also paid Aubameyang to leave. You paid him to leave as well, blood. You paid wages and you paid him compensation. What craziness is that? You paid him 7 million. You gave him 7 million to leave in a COVID pandemic. Blood, tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how it makes sense. I don't know. I really don't know. Man got credit for that. Man got flowers for that. Man got flowers. Oh. Anyway, dude, Gaspar. Big up my guy Nathan in the building. Come on, big up all the members, man. Big up all the members. Just to let you know, I think we've got memberships on the new channel now as well, man. Yep. So if you want to become a member of the new channel, Wax Unfiltered, we've got the memberships open. This is one membership, actually, just like this channel, bro. All that membership stuff's along, bro. Just one membership. Support the channel. We're going to have a lot of membership content on the other channel, of course, alien reactions and all that type of stuff. So if you want to be involved, get yourself over there, join the gang. New video dropped this morning on that channel as well, and we'll have something new dropping tomorrow. So yeah, man, excited for that channel. Definitely am. Edu is absolutely awful at doing his job. If he was at any other club, he would have been sacked a long time ago. In facts, he would have. Based on this project, now this project's run, the manager would have probably given a new contract. Edu, the sporting director, probably would have been sacked. Someone in the boardroom would have been sacked. A couple man would have been chopped from this thing. You know them way there. A couple man would have been chopped from this thing. There's no way you've been getting away with terminating contracts and selling no players for money over the past 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? You know, Balogun kind of saved Edu's job slightly to a degree last season. It kind of showed that, you know, he can do something, and I think they've given him another chance to prove himself. And this is the reason why at the beginning of this window, we've just been focused on player sales. Get these guys out the door. Because we need to recoup some of that money. Marino is not what we need. Fabian Ruiz is more of a quality player that is needed, especially if we're going to have him paired with Declan Rice in the middle of the park. Facts, you know, Fabian Ruiz is someone that I did want at Arsenal, you know, a few years ago, before we dreamt PSG. And if you're looking at the profile of player, he's definitely a proper box to box and get forward, get back. He's a complete midfielder, complete central midfielder. So you do have a point there. Who's that? GBE. You do have a point, you know, that, you know, he would be more tailored to what the football we're trying to play at Arsenal Football Club. Mikel Moreno is a good player. Again, we might see a tweak in our style this season. We might see a different type of style, especially in that central area. You know, so let's see, man, what happens. Let's see what happens. But anyway, we've got 2 more stories before I cut out, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more stories. So we'll talk about Smith Rowe, and then we'll talk about Mikel Moreno and what's being said about those guys. Make sure we're hitting the like button. Do subscribe to the channel. All of that, all of that, all of that. We've got over 100 people locked in. Much appreciate every single one of you guys. If you have subscribed from the new channel and you're watching, so if you come from the Wax Unfiltered channel and you found this channel, do let me know. Do let me know. That'll be sick to know that we've got people from the Wax Unfiltered channel that come over here. I doubt it, because looking at the demographic, you know, a lot of people on the Wax Unfiltered channel are quite old. It's pretty interesting. You're looking at, you know, 40 plus on there. 40 plus. On here, it's literally it's about 18 to like 30s max, like predominantly that the age range. But on the other channel, it was like 40 plus. Anyway, we're going to move on to quickly touch on ESR, no deleting, and then we'll move on to Mikel Moreno. We do have a few updates on that one as well. But hit that like button. So, where are we? I'm looking at the wrong pages here. Hold on, let me go back. I just see something there. All right, we'll start with this one. So Arsenal did reject a bid of around 30 million plus bonuses from Fulham for Emil Smith Rowe after seeing their first offer knocked back by the Gunners. Fulham are now considering making an improved proposal. How much money is it going to be? I'm not too sure, but you know, I reckon we're going to get about 35 million for this guy, man. And 35 million isn't going to be too bad, especially when you compare it to what we made last season. 30 million on Balogun, who actually had a fantastic season, and we're going to get that for a player that hasn't even had a season. You know, we had a couple of games at the back end of last season. He got player of the match in one of those games as well. So interesting, but it is what it is, man. 40 million, 35 million. It's going to be in that region. Let's see what really happens here with ESR. Who in the chat actually wants ESR to stay? Who's wanted ESR to stay? Like, who's wanted ESR to stay? Who's wanted ESR to go? I mean, if I am to be totally fair to ESR, I've wanted him to go. I've wanted him to go, so I'm happy that Arsenal have, you know, got this deal in the pipeline, and they're trying to, you know, solidify this one, make it happen. Because let's be honest, man. You know, the fitness levels of the player hasn't been great. The guy's only started or played. I can't remember the start off the top of my head. I think it's either started. I think it started. He's only started 2 Arsenal games in the last 48 months. 2 Arsenal games, bro, in the last 48 months. Was it 48 months or 24 months? Either way, it's a very, very long time. It's a very, very long time. This channel should be called Wax Talks Truth. Wax Talks Facts. You know, wasting away that iconic 10, 110%. So we do know now that number 10 is going to be given to a striker or a real number 10. You know what I mean? Like a real attacking midfielder. I can only assume so. Anyway, imagine they might give it to Ethan Waneri. They might say, "Yeah, here you go, Ethan. We'll give you the number 10." I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with that number. I'm not going to lie. I want ESR to do career turnarounds like Nacho did at Madrid. Yeah, man. I think ESR was the exception I was willing to make at some point. You know, when you ask me, out of all the players that we're trying to sell right now, is there an exception for one that you're willing to keep? And ESR would have been that one. But based on the finances, you know, I knew Arsenal weren't going to keep ESR. I knew Arsenal were going to sell him because he's probably the most valued player out of all the players that are more or less surplus to requirements, more or less not getting any minutes whatsoever. And it was confirmed recently that Fabio Vieira is going to be staying. Mikel Arteta sees him as an important player. You know, maybe there was a rehabilitation process for Fabio Vieira to get over his injury, and now this is the summer where, you know, Mikel Arteta really backs Fabio Vieira. But based on that report, it made me, you know, it compelled me to believe that, you know what, Arsenal are probably going to lean towards ESR being this sacrifice. Remember, we've been talking about this. I was always using the word sacrifice just to make sure people remember the streams. But Arsenal are going to have to sacrifice someone. There's going to be a sacrifice. Who's going to be the sacrifice? ESR. I told you, man, 3-4 months ago, this is going to be ESR. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't want it to be ESR. You know, I didn't really, I made an exception for it, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I would have sold him, you know, but I would have also made the exception. It was like a sit on the fence one with ESR. Let's be real, because we like him and we know he's got the potential, but the injury records and the fitness levels are just not matching up. They don't. they're not outweighing everything else right now, is it? Like they're so yeah. Go and get Adeyemi. I don't know about Adeyemi, you know. He's being linked with Premier League move, but I don't know about Adeyemi. All I do know is, you know, a second bid should be launched by Fulham in the next coming hours, days. Let's see, you know, what happens with that one. What happens? And then the last thing I did want to kind of talk about was Mikel Moreno. I mean, there's not real talk, to be quite fair. Like, a lot of what's being said is, so Arsenal obviously do edge closer to trying to get this deal done. I believe Real Sociedad has given the player the green light. He's only got 1 year left on his contract, so of course they want to cash in on him. They don't want to lose him for free. So they have given him the green light to talk to other clubs, and Arsenal have been the club that he's spoken to. Some reports actually say even Martin Odegaard has been involved in speaking to Mikel Moreno and convincing him, and that was suggested by Mikel Arteta. So you know we're here. We're trying to cook something with Mikel Moreno, and that's probably the reason why we got the spill from James Bench, who is really close to Arsenal in the fact that he will get kind of that type of information. What the thinking is at Arsenal right now. What are they trying to do? What is the real plan? And the plan, as far as they're being told, and as far as we're being told, is that we want someone a bit more experienced. And now we're being linked with Mikel Moreno, or we were being linked with Mikel Moreno, and we've now been given this information. So yeah, it's you know, it's we'll see what happens with Mikel Moreno. 25 million is what Real Sociedad want. 25 million. So it goes to show you that we're having a cheap summer. This isn't a summer where Arsenal was splashing big cash, 200 million. You know, the money's not there to do it, man. Listen to your boy when he tells you the facts, bro. Listen to your boy when he tells you the facts. We're not going to do it. You know, maybe we might get some sort of injection, or maybe, just maybe, there might be some budget allocated later on in the window whereby we're able to then sign Eucharist. Like maybe we've already factored in the Eucharist deal, and we're saying to ourselves, all right, cool, we're not going to go gun-ho with any of these deals. We're not going to go overboard with Calafiori. It's 50 million or bust. We're not going to do more than 25 million for Mikel Moreno, because if we can get those deals done at those prices, it should leave us enough money in the kitty to go and get Victor Eucharist. So that could be the thinking. And then closer to, obviously, deadline, we could, you know, get that surprise signing. Another reason why that does make sense is because Victor Eucharist has recently suffered with a knee injury. He was reported to be out for about 4 to 5 weeks, and that was almost 4 to 5 weeks ago. So yeah, we could have been waiting to see the process of that, see how he feels, look at that, because we don't want him to foul a medical, and we, you know, want to make sure that he's fully fit to come and get into our training sessions and so on and so forth. So anyway, but yeah, man, it does look like we're trailing this one. Mikel Moreno to Arsenal is a deal that I think is inevitable at this moment in time. That means this is bound to happen. Deadline day deals on deck. Bloody hell, so many D's. You know what I mean? Edu is pissing me off. I'm telling you, Fabio Vieira got the potential, but he won't get a chance at Arsenal. He would crush it in a more technical league like La Liga. Yeah, he probably would be good in La Liga, to be quite fair. But I just think as long as he gets on the ball as a lot, no Diddy, then bro, I'm telling you, he will cook, man. He's got the technical ability, he's got the movement. Just needs to grow in confidence and get that mentality, that willingness, that strong level of determination. That, you know what, I am just overcoming any problem. I don't care who we're playing today, Blatt. I don't care who we're playing today. And if we go 1-0 down, then you know what, I'm stepping up, Blatt. Give me the ball, fam. You know that's determination, bro. That's determination. Like, you've gone 1-0 down to, you know, Man City, blood, and this guy's actually stepped up and said, give me the fucking ball, Bob. I'm getting on it. That is determination, and that's what we need, bro. That's what Odegaard, as to a degree, last season, he gave us that. You know, Saka's given us that to a degree. Like, players are giving us that. Fabio needs to give us that. If he can give us that, I tell you now, Fabio Vieira will cook. He will cook, but he just needs to give us that. Anyway, guys, make sure we are hitting the like button. Big up all the real ones in the building. Much appreciate every single one of you. Hit the like button, and yeah, we will be back tomorrow 11:30 as usual. So make sure you're here then. And I won't be late tomorrow, I promise. I won't be late. But I look forward to seeing you guys then. Peace.